The courtroom went silent when she stood up and screamed it. He promised me. I gave him everything, and he just wanted to go back to his boring wife. I deserved something. Her 3 lawyers lunged for her, tried to cover her mouth. Too late. Judge Chen leaned forward. Miss Price, you just confessed to fraud in my courtroom. I sat there, frozen, watching the woman who'd stolen my entire life realize what she'd just done. The same woman who'd been sleeping in my bed for 6 months, posting champagne photos in my daughter's bedroom, wearing my dead grandmother's pearls. She'd taken everything from me. My house, my husband's business, even my mother's wedding ring. And in 30 seconds of pure rage, she'd just handed it all back. But 6 months ago, I was the one who'd lost everything, sleeping on an air mattress in my sister's garage while she lived my life on Instagram. This is how one hidden key changed everything. But before I show you exactly how I did it, if you're new here, I'm Jennifer, and this is Jennifer Stories, where betrayal meets justice and the frauds always lose. Hit subscribe right now and turn on that bell, because I post stories like this every single day. Stories that'll make you believe in karma again. And please smash that like button. It pushes this story to people who need to see that you can fight back and win. Now let me take you back to the day my entire world exploded. My name is Claire Mitchell. March 14th. My husband Robert collapsed at his construction site. Massive stroke, dead before the ambulance arrived. We'd had coffee that morning. He'd kissed me goodbye at our kitchen table in Phoenix. 17 years, 3 kids, a golden retriever named Biscuit. Gone. But 10 days after burying my husband, I sat in a Scottsdale lawyer's office and learned something that made me vomit all over their expensive carpet. Robert had a new will, made 2 months before he died. He left everything to someone named Vanessa Price. The house? Vanessa Price. His construction business? Vanessa Price. Our kids' college fund? Vanessa Price. But me, the mother of his children, I got $5,000 and his old pickup truck. Who is Vanessa Price? The lawyer wouldn't look at me. A close friend of your husband's. His mistress, he muttered. That's when I remembered her. The 28-year-old platinum blonde at the funeral in a designer dress, crying like she'd lost the love of her life. His mistress? I was heartbroken. And she was taking everything. 1 week later, eviction papers arrived. 30 days to get out of my house, the 4-bedroom ranch in Tempe where I'd brought my babies home. My parents? Dead. Robert's parents blamed me. Said I must have driven him to cheat. Friends? Vanished the second they heard the words affair and will. My sister Lisa was the only one who showed up. She cleared out her garage in Mesa, threw in some air mattresses and a space heater. That's where we ended up. Me and my 3 kids, sleeping in a converted garage. 9 people sharing 1 bathroom. And Vanessa moved into my house the day I left. Then she started posting. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Her in my kitchen with champagne. Her in my garden with my roses. Wearing my dead grandmother's pearls. My mother's wedding ring that Robert had reset for our 10th anniversary. One post showed her painting my daughter Sophie's purple bedroom, the walls we'd spent an entire weekend painting together, black. Caption, out with the old energy, in with the new vibe, #. Another post, her throwing a party with strangers in my living room. Caption, finally living the life I deserve. Patience always pays off. My 13-year-old saw that, came to me sobbing because kids at Tempe High were asking why another woman lived in our house. Then Vanessa sold Robert's boat, the one he'd restored with his late father. Posted a photo with cash spread out on my kitchen counter. Caption, sometimes you have to let go of the past to afford the future. She got herself a brand new red Mercedes. License plate frame said blessed. Blessed. I was working double shifts at a medical clinic in Chandler just to buy groceries. I had $300 to my name. Called every lawyer in the Phoenix metro area. They all wanted $20,000 to $50,000 up front just to look at the case. Nobody would touch it. For 4 months, I watched her live my life on social media while I slept on the floor of my sister's garage. I wanted to give up, completely give up. Then one night, digging through old boxes for my son's birth certificate, I found a birthday card from Robert, our 15th anniversary. Inside, he'd written, "Claire, you're my rock, my safe place. Everything important is always safe with you. Remember that." Remember that. Why would he say it like that? Like a clue? And then I remembered something. Years ago, Robert gives me a necklace. Silver chain with a little key pendant. "You're the key to everything that matters," he said. The chain broke 2 years ago. I threw it in my jewelry box and forgot about it. But what if it wasn't just a pendant? I ripped through that jewelry box like a madwoman. My sister thought I'd lost it. "Claire, what are you doing?" I kept saying, the key Robert gave me. And there it was. Small silver key, numbers engraved on it, 4782. A safety deposit box key. But where? I called every bank we'd ever used. Chase, Bank of America, our local credit union. Nothing. Then I remembered. Robert's grandfather had worked at Arizona State Bank on Camelback for 40 years. Robert used to quote him, "Keep your important papers where they won't burn down with your house." It was a long shot, but I called. "Arizona State Bank, how can I help you?" "Hi, I'm trying to find out if my late husband had a safety deposit box with you. Robert Mitchell?" Typing sounds, then, "Yes, ma'am, box 4782. You're listed as co-holder." I almost dropped the phone. The next morning, I was at that bank when they opened, shaking so hard I could barely sign my name. The vault manager, this older gentleman named Mr. Phillips, led me into the vault. He inserted his key, I inserted mine. The box opened. Inside was a thick manila folder. I opened it right there, standing in that cold vault. On top was a will, official looking, notarized, dated 6 months before Robert died, 4 months before the one Vanessa had. I started reading through tears. "I, Robert James Mitchell, being of sound mind and body, hereby declare this to be my last will and testament. I leave my entire estate to my wife, Claire Elizabeth Mitchell, and our 3 children." It was all there. The house, the business, everything. But there was more. A letter. In Robert's handwriting. I recognized his messy scrawl immediately. "Claire, if you're reading this, I'm probably gone, and things have gone very, very wrong. I need to tell you something I should have told you months ago. I made a terrible mistake. I had an affair with a woman named Vanessa. It lasted about 8 months before I realized what I was doing to our family. I ended it 3 months ago, but she didn't take it well. She's been threatening me ever since, saying she'll ruin the business, tell everyone, destroy our reputation. She said she has a lawyer who can make documents look however she wants them to look. I didn't understand what she meant then, but I'm scared now. She's been asking too many questions about my assets, about the business structure, about our accounts. Last week, she showed up at my office when everyone was gone, and I caught her at my desk. She said she was looking for a pen, but Claire, she was near my filing cabinet where I keep company letterhead and my signature stamp. I've been keeping this will and these documents here because I don't trust anyone else. If something happens to me, and if Vanessa suddenly has a will that benefits her, Please know it's fake. This is the real one. I'm so sorry. I never meant for any of this to happen. I love you and the kids more than anything. Please forgive me. R. I was sobbing so hard Mr. Phillips brought me a chair and a box of tissues. But there was even more in that folder. Printed emails between Robert and Vanessa after he ended the relationship. Her writing, "You're making a huge mistake. I gave you the best 8 months of your life, and this is how you repay me? I'll make sure you regret this." His response, "Leave my family alone. What we had is over. I'm telling Claire everything, and we'll work through it together." Her reply, "Tell her then, and watch me take everything anyway. I know people. I know how to make this work in my favor. You're not the first rich guy who thought he could dump me." There were also bank statements showing Vanessa had somehow gotten access to one of Robert's business accounts, thousands of dollars in unauthorized charges. And there was a recording, a USB drive labeled March 2nd, 12 days before Robert died. I didn't have a way to play it there, but Mr. Phillips let me use his computer. It was Robert's voice, recording a conversation with Vanessa. Her voice, "I want the house, Robert, and half the business, or I'll go to your wife with pictures, texts, everything." Robert, "I already told her. She knows everything. We're in counseling. You have nothing to blackmail me with." Vanessa, laughing, "Then I'll take it another way. My lawyer says estate documents are easier to fake than you think, especially when you have access to someone's office." Robert, "Are you threatening to forge a will?" Vanessa, "I'm not threatening anything. I'm just saying accidents happen, and when they do, paperwork is all that matters." The recording ended. I sat there in shock. She'd basically confessed weeks before Robert died. Mr. Phillips looked at me with side eyes. "Ma'am, you need to take this to the police and a lawyer today." I called every lawyer in the phone book again, but this time I led with, "I have evidence of will forgery and fraud." A lawyer named Catherine Morrison called me back in 20 minutes. "Claire, I want you to bring me everything you have, right now. Don't make copies, don't tell anyone. Just bring it straight to my office." Catherine was a former prosecutor who specialized in estate fraud. She took one look at the evidence and her eyes went wide. "This is the most clear-cut case of fraud I've seen in 15 years. We're filing an emergency motion tomorrow morning." "I don't have money for a retainer," I said. She waved her hand. "We'll figure that out later. What she did is criminal. I'll work for free if I have to, just to see justice done." Over the next 3 weeks, Catherine built a fortress of evidence. She hired a forensic document examiner who proved Vanessa's will was created on a computer Robert never owned, printed on paper his office never used, and signed with a signature that was digitally copied and pasted from his real signature on other documents. The notary on Vanessa's will? Turned out he'd had his license revoked 2 years earlier. The seal was fake. Catherine also subpoenaed Vanessa's financial records. Turns out she'd been researching how to contest a will and forging legal documents the same week Robert died. Her search history was a confession in itself. We filed for an emergency hearing to freeze all assets and validate the real will. Vanessa's response? She hired 3 lawyers and started a social media campaign saying I was a vindictive ex-wife trying to steal from Robert's true love. She even posted a video crying saying, "Some people can't handle that their husband chose someone else. I'm being harassed by his bitter ex-family." My kids saw that video, their father's mistress calling their mother bitter for wanting their own home back. But Catherine told me to stay quiet. Don't respond, don't post, don't engage. The courtroom is where this ends. The hearing was set for 6 months and 2 days after Robert died, the longest 6 months of my entire life. The morning of the hearing, I woke up at 4 a.m. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, could barely breathe. My sister braided my hair like she used to when we were kids, Said it was for good look. I wore the only professional outfit I owned. A navy blazer I'd bought at Goodwill, and black pants with a broken zipper I'd safety pinned. Vanessa showed up in a white pantsuit. White, like she was the bride at a wedding. Her lawyers were all in expensive suits, carrying designer briefcases. They looked confident. Too confident. She saw me in the hallway and smiled. Actually smiled. "I hope you brought a good lawyer, sweetie," she said loud enough for everyone to hear. "Because mine are the best." Catherine stepped forward. "Claire, don't respond. Let's go inside." The judge was a woman named Judge Patricia Chen. 60-something, stern face, reading glasses on a chain. Vanessa's lead lawyer went first. His name was Marcus something or other. He talked for 20 minutes about how Robert and Vanessa had a genuine, loving relationship and how Robert's will clearly reflected his true wishes. He even submitted affidavits from Vanessa's friends saying they'd seen Robert and Vanessa together, happy, planning a future. He even had a jeweler confirm that Robert had bought Vanessa an engagement ring 3 weeks before he died. My heart sank. An engagement ring? Well married to me? But Catherine looked calm. Too calm. Then it was our turn. Catherine stood up and said 5 words that changed everything. "Your Honor, I have evidence." She presented Robert's real will first, dated 4 months before Vanessa's, properly executed, properly notarized by a legitimate notary. Vanessa's lawyer objected. That document's authenticity hasn't been established. Judge Chen looked at him over her glasses. "It's notarized by a current licensed notary. Yours is notarized by someone who lost their license in 2022. Continue, Miss Morrison." Catherine then presented the forensic document analysis. The expert testified that Vanessa's will was created on a computer purchased in January. Robert died in March, but the will was supposedly created in January. The computer's first use date was after the will's supposed creation date. Impossible. The signature was also digitally manipulated. The expert showed side by side Robert's real signature from his driver's license and the signature on Vanessa's will. Identical. Not similar. Identical. Down to the pixel. In 30 years of forensic analysis, I've never seen 2 human signatures match this perfectly, because humans have slight variations every time they sign. This was copied and pasted from a digital source. The courtroom was dead silent. Catherine then played the audio recording. Vanessa's voice filled the courtroom. "My lawyer says estate documents are easier to fake than you'd think." I watched Vanessa's face go pale. Her lawyers started whispering frantically. Then Catherine presented the bank records, showing Vanessa had stolen money from Robert's business account. Then the search history from Vanessa's laptop, showing her researching fraud. Then Robert's letter. Catherine read it out loud, every word, including, "If Vanessa suddenly has a will that benefits her, please know it's fake." By the end, Vanessa was crying, but not sad crying, angry crying. Judge Chen asked one question. "Miss Price, did you have anything to do with creating or presenting a fraudulent will?" Her lawyer said, "Don't answer that." But Vanessa stood up anyway. "This is the moment I told you about at the beginning. He promised me. He said we'd be together. I gave him everything and he just wanted to go back to his boring wife. I deserve something for what I gave him." Her lawyer grabbed her arm. "Sit down now." But the damage was done. Judge Chen removed her glasses. "Miss Price, you just confessed to fraud in my courtroom. Sit down." She reviewed the evidence for 10 minutes, then looked up. "I find overwhelming evidence of fraud, forgery, theft, and attempted theft of estate assets. The will presented by Miss Price is void. The will from the safety deposit box is validated as the true and legal last will and testament of Robert James Mitchell. All assets are to be returned to Mrs. Mitchell immediately. Miss Price, you have 24 hours to vacate the property. I'm also referring this case to the district attorney for criminal prosecution. Bailiff, please ensure Miss Price doesn't leave the jurisdiction. I couldn't believe it. We won. Vanessa screamed. Actually screamed. You're never gonna get away with this. Judge Chen banged her gavel. Miss Price, another outburst and you'll be held in contempt. Get out of my courtroom. Security had to escort her out. 24 hours later, I walked back into my house. Vanessa had destroyed it, spray painted the walls, smashed every mirror, cut up the couch cushions, even killed my rose bushes. But I didn't care. We were home. My daughter ran to her room, even with the black paint, and said, "We're really back, Mom. We're really back." It took 3 months to repair everything. Friends I thought had abandoned me showed up to help. My sister organized a fundraiser. The community rallied. And Vanessa? She took a plea deal to avoid prison. 5 years probation, full restitution of every penny she spent, plus damages. Her wages are garnished until it's paid off. She's working at a Safeway now. I know because I saw her there last month when I was shopping. She looked at me with so much hatred. I just smiled and kept walking. Because here's what I learned through all of this. Sometimes the person who thinks they've stolen your life has actually just stolen their own future. That recording, that confession in court, that destroyed her. She can't get a real job, can't rent a nice apartment, can't escape what she did. Meanwhile, I rebuilt. The house is beautiful. Robert's business is thriving under new management. My kids are healing. We talk about their dad honestly now, the good and the bad. And I started a nonprofit helping other people navigate estate fraud. We've helped 19 families so far. Someone asked me recently if I forgive Vanessa. I don't know yet, but I don't think about her anymore, and that's something. If you're going through something like this right now, if someone has taken what's yours and you feel helpless, don't give up. Keep looking, keep fighting. The truth is out there. Sometimes it's in a safety deposit box. Sometimes it's in a recording. Sometimes it's in the most unexpected place. But it's there, and it's worth finding. Because sometimes justice is just one key away. If this story hit you in the feels, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Share this with someone who needs to see that justice is possible. And drop a comment telling me where you're watching from and if you've had similar experiences before. Share your experience with us. New story drops tomorrow, same time. You won't want to miss it. This is Jennifer's Stories, where the truth always wins. See you in the next one.